Hi, y'all. Well, I'm finally back. Y'all probably been wondering where I've been. Well, praise the Lord, I never did lose electric in this storm, the snowstorm. We did get about, I think, 7 or 8 inches of snow, and I have not been able actually to get out of my house until today. It was the first day I was able to get out, and I actually had to drive through the weeds to be able to get out, but I made it. But I haven't been around doing videos because this weather made my can't say it, my fibromyalgia flare really bad, and I've been really stiff and achy and just very fatigued. So that's why I haven't made any videos. I haven't done much even cooking for myself. I've either been eating sandwiches or just something I get out of a can. But anyway, today this one is, it's not much cooking to it, but it's a meal, and it's one you can make be fast and quick and easy when you have to go somewhere in a hurry maybe. And most kids love this. This is just, beanie weenies is basically what it is, but it's made with baked beans instead of just plain old pork and beans. Have you ever had beanie weenies as a kid? It was just pork and beans with hot dogs cut up in it. And this one we're going to use hot dogs and my brain's not working, baked beans. Hot dogs and baked beans. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'll bring you down and we can get started on it, okay? And I have a few more subscribers, and I want to say thank you. And everyone, if you're watching this, would you please give me a thumbs up, hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you as one. And I definitely would love for you to share this. I think we're only 22 away from 1,000, and that's when we will have a drawing for a $25 gift card. So let's go ahead and I'll bring you down and we will get started. All right, you want to go ahead and start preheating a skillet with a little bit of oil or bacon grease or something like that. I have mine with a little bit of bacon grease. And you don't have to do this step. You don't have to brown the hot dogs. So if you don't want to brown them, then you can skip this step with the skillet. But I like to brown mine. So go ahead and get my skillet on there. I had it already starting preheating. It's starting to get a little hot. My hot dogs still aren't all the way thawed out, but that's okay. So this is a half a pound. I'm using a half a pound of hot dogs, and I will be using can't tell if this is 16 or 18 ounce. Let me get some more light in here. I didn't think about turning the lights on. 16 ounce. So this half pound hot dog and a 16 ounce can of baked beans. Now, you don't have to use a whole pound of hot dogs. You can use however many you want. You can use however big can you want. It's all up to you what you want, your preference. I tell you all the time. I guess just the weather too has got me to where my throats and my sinuses and everything are dry. Of course, it could be the wood heat, even though I keep a big a pot you use for, water bath canning. I keep it on there full of water. And I may not have had enough water to drink lately too. I don't think about drinking water because I don't get thirsty that often. But as I was saying, you can use however big a can of baked beans you want, however many you need to feed your family, however many hot dogs you want, because as I tell you all the time, cooking is about preference. It's your preference of how many hot dogs you want in with how many beans. It's just all your preference. Now, some people make these and call them cowboy beans with ground beef in them. I actually do not like ground beef in them. So we're just going to cut these in, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch slices. And yes, my knife cuts are not even. I can never make it on one of those, you know, shows on the Food Network because I do not have even slices. I'd have to sit here with the ruler if I want to do that. I was not good with geometry and things of that nature. All right, so I'm going to put these over in the skillet and we will brown them. So I'll bring you back in just a second. All right. Oh my goodness, I put my thing over there. Oh, they're on top of the cutting board. I have this on medium heat. And I didn't think about it, but nowadays they say that for children, you need, besides just slicing, you need to cut them like that also. So slice them and then cut them like that. Cut them smaller so kids won't choke on them. I don't know, when my kids were little, I just would give them a whole hot dog to eat. Or I slice it up like this and they never choke, but that's what all the pediatricians are saying now. So I guess to be safe, if you have small children, go ahead and cut them up smaller. Because you definitely do not want your child to choke. I'm not feeding any small children, so this will be sufficient. You just want to get them browned. I don't know if that's too close or not. Let me come back a little. I don't want to be so close that it's right in your face. You know, it appears different once I upload it. It appears different than it does when I look at the camera there itself. If your skillet's already hot when you begin, then they'll brown up quicker and faster too. Like these started sizzling as soon as I put them in the skillet. Okay, I think that's about good enough. I'm holding my dish over this to get a little warm before I put those in there, because let me tell you, this is where these are stored. It's kind of cold. I don't think it's cold enough to break it, but I don't want to take a chance that will. And I think this can actually go from freezer to oven, but I'm not positive. All right, I think that's good. All right, I have a greased casserole dish. I have drained the, oh, I keep forgetting that camera angle now. Let me see. Okay, I have drained this can of baked beans. Hold it down. Before I have to used to have to hold up, now I have to hold it down. But anyway, I have drained these of the excess juice. I just took, you know, the lid on it like this, and did like that and poured out the excess juice on it. So we will put these into our container here, our pot, our pan. Boy, my brain is not functioning. And with the fibromyalgia, part of it is brain fog, and I think that's what's going on right now. But we will put it into our casserole dish. I probably could have used one that's a little bit smaller, but actually, I think the next smaller one I have is a lot smaller. It's only like a 2-cup one. Now let's go ahead and put our hot dogs in there. And if you don't want it as greasy, which I only had a thin layer of bacon grease in there anyway, but you got always, you know, I could have always scooped the hot dogs out instead of just pouring them over in here. Mix that up pretty good. Next, we are going to just take whatever kind of barbecue sauce that you want. I like the KC Masterpiece is my favorite, and it's the hickory and brown sugar is the one that I prefer. Put that down here in the trash bag. And again, with that, it's your preference if you want a little or a lot. I'd say that's approximately 1/4 of a cup. And I just go by how it looks after I mix it together. I think I want a little bit more. This makes it probably about 1/3 of a cup. Now I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. That's the universal temperature, isn't it? So that looks good to me. And you're probably thinking, well, it was baked beans. Why do you have to put more barbecue sauce in it? Because it makes it taste better. It just kind of oomps it up a little. And you don't have to, you know. You don't have to do that at all. You don't even have to put them in the oven. You can just, you know, just put them all in the skillet and do it. That'd be good too. If you wanted to, you could throw some bacon slices on here and cook that until your bacon gets to the crispness as you want. The crispness as you want, my goodness. And that's something else you could do to it, but I'm not doing that today. All right, so I'm going to put this in my oven for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and heated all the way through. You want to get heated all the way through. So I will bring you back when it's finished. All right, back, it's finished. You can see how hot it is. It's steaming in here. I'll put a little bit in a bowl and we'll taste test. I'm not quite ready to eat supper yet because I had a late lunch, but I will taste test that. Okay, so let me get a spoon and a fork, and I'll be right with you and bring you around where you can see me. All right. That's good. Little piece of childhood there, huh? I may not say that loud enough, but I said that's a little piece of childhood there. Well, I hope that y'all will make this if you never have. And like I said, you know, and you saw it's easy. I'm fixing to go take me a bath. Tomorrow's Sunday. It's church day, and I'm going to go ahead and get my bath out of the way, and I've got my clothes about finished washing, and I've got a load of laundry that I did, and let me see what else I did today. I ran to town and got some things I needed there, and we got us a new church building. We're going to be in it tomorrow, so we're all excited about that, and we're having a dinner, and I'm going to make some dressing and mashed potatoes and a peach cobbler. So that's going to be exciting. We're all, excited about it, and I'm excited about just the pews alone because our other church is really, really old, our other church building, and the pews were all wooden, no built-in cushioning, and my poor hips didn't like them. I had a cushion I took and sat on, but still it was kind of hard. And these pews in this new church building, it was another church that had been in that building for years and years and years, but it got down to where there were only just a few members. And so I think they weren't even going to have church anymore. So our church talked to them about use of their building because our other building was so old. It was over 200 years old. And I think, no, not over. It was probably about 140 years old. So I have my dates wrong, 140, 150. And they're just starting to be way too many problems. And it was like starting to nickel and dime us to death. But anyway, so, and these people, they were excited that there were people that wanted to come in there, and they say, oh yeah, they'll even come to church there, which our church, we're non-denominational, and this was a Baptist church. I've always, of course, I accepted Christ as my Savior, and that has nothing to do with denomination, but I've always have attended a Baptist church. I was raised in a Baptist church, and but when we needed a church that was closer to home, my husband started becoming ill. We started going to that one. That's been 10 years, and it's non-denominational, and I really like it. I tell you what, you could not find a better group of people. They all truly care about each other. I never hear anyone gossiping and backbiting, and they are definitely prayer warriors. And the people are just wonderful. And if you live in the area, if you live in Bollinger County, Missouri, out here, it's in Glen Allen. Used to be White Oak Baptist. Now it will be Christian Family Fellowship. And it's on Highway 34, just outside of the little village of Glen Allen. It's actually right there by where the new Apostolic Church is. And it's in front of the new Apostolic Church. When they had to rebuild after the tornado, they built directly behind this one. So if you're in Bollinger County and looking for a church, we would love to have you. We start at 10:30 on Sunday mornings, and we're usually out about noon, a little after, something like that. Well, y'all have a good evening, and I would just like to encourage you, if you don't go to church, find you a church somewhere to go. And, Hebrews 10:25 tells us not to forsake the assembling of ourselves, even much so as the day approaches. And I probably didn't say that correctly all the way, but the closer and closer we get to Christ's return, the more and more we as body believers need to get together if we can. Now, the last 2 weeks, of course, we didn't even have church because of the weather. But there is a church that I watch online. It's actually in Arkansas, and that's the one that I watch. Of course, I live here in Missouri. But I'm going to let y'all go, and remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please share. And remember to always season your cooking with love. See y'all, and hopefully it's not going to be as long as it was this time.